At what point do you say enough is enough when it comes to your health? Today we'll discuss why and how it can and should be sooner rather than later.
You're listening to Studio 809 Podcast. This is what community sounds like.
Welcome to the Functional Fitness and Nutrition Podcast with Chronology on Studio 809. I'm Stevie.
And I'm Will.
And we're your co-hosts and experts behind Chronology Functional Fitness and Nutrition. Chronology is a wellness company focusing on functional health and anti-aging through personal training, nutrition counseling, and a holistic approach to life. You can find us online at chronologyfit.com.
That's Chronology with a K. What's up, Kevin? Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Or afternoon, depending on when you're listening.
Middle of the night, wherever. Maybe on the toilet. I don't know.
I'm surprised you didn't play your little sound effect.
No, that's when I actually say the word.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So what's our topic today?
When is enough enough?
Yes, that's a big dilemma because, yes, it depends on the individual person because everybody's an individual. That's redundant, but some people, it seems, do not have one. And what I mean by that is they get
There's
worse.
No threshold.
They degrade, get worse, go down, and then they die.
Yeah.
So when was it at any point did they say, man, this stinks, I have to do something about this? See what I'm saying?
Yeah. We get a lot of clients that come to us after they've been diagnosed with something.
Yeah.
Or when they're warned they're about to get diagnosed with something, which isn't bad.
No.
It's like that's better than waiting until it's a full-blown serious problem. For example, diabetes. Let's say, I have some symptoms. I don't feel so good. Maybe I need to stop eating so much sugar or take care of my nutrition. All right. That would be one person. Doctor kind of warned you, you're kind of pre-diabetic there. Or maybe, they go ahead and tell you got diabetes, put you on medication. That would be another person. But so, at what point do you stop and say, okay, I got to do something? Is it, when you see the signs, is it when you get diagnosed or is it when you lose a foot?
Right. Yeah.
Or have a stroke because you got warned, you got heart disease, or before that you knew you had high blood pressure. You wait until you have a stroke before you do something. I mean, so at what point, what is your threshold? At what point do you say, this is getting out of hand, I am not going to get to that point, I need to make a change?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where is that for everybody? I believe everybody has this in them because it's a way to survive. So if there's anything in your life that's happening that is going to take away the quality of your life or your life, your brain will automatically send a bunch of signals to you telling you, we have to do something or we're going to die.
That's those warning signs of diabetes,
so
heart
everybody
disease,
gets
all
these.
the lifestyle diseases.
Right. So everybody gets these. So I guess the bigger question is why do they ignore them or maybe don't heed them? I don't want to say ignore because it's in your face. Obviously, you're not ignoring them, and you might have to take pills for it or a shot, but and
you get complacent with the pills.
So
it's like, I just take a pill. I can just do whatever.
That's what I was kind of going to lead up to. Do you think they feel comforted and safe now because they received the diagnosis and they have medication? So they're like, well, it's taken care of, kinda.
I think some people do because I've heard the attitude that, well, I'm going to die of something.
Yeah.
Or everybody else in my family had this, so it's inevitable.
Right.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And, and I'm far more afraid of living sick.
Yeah.
Or disabled from something that's, I could have prevented than I am of dying.
Yeah.
If you lose a foot and you're now in a wheelchair because of type 2 diabetes, which you could have done something about.
Right.
I don't want to live that way. I'm less afraid of dying.
So it is all about the quality of life. Let me just quickly give you.
Well, and with medications, I think you get a false sense of hope. I mean, I can help take care of it, but if you only rely on, it can be a tool in the toolbox to help you be healthier and maybe
Yes.
slow the disease from progressing while you make changes.
Right, but it's not
And you
curing
may
it.
need to stay on it. You may be able to get off of it. But to just rely on the medication only and not change anything, you are still eventually going to have problems from that disease.
Yeah, of course. Let me quickly give you a general definition of what it means to be healthy. It means that you are physically, mentally, emotionally sound, and you're able to gain the resources to live a comfortable, good life. That's a general term of what it means to be healthy.
And there's a misconception that, some people in the medical community, and just some people who aren't in the medical community, think that being healthy is absence of disease. No, absence of disease means you have absence of disease. That doesn't
Right.
mean, a diagnosed disease, a diagnosable illness.
Right.
That doesn't mean you're healthy.
No.
You could be on your way to being, I keep harping on diabetes, but this applies to anything. You could be on your way to being pre-diabetic, but you're not diagnosed yet. That doesn't mean you're healthy.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You could still have symptoms. You don't feel good. You have certain indicators that something's not going on right in your body, but because you're not diagnosed, you might have this misconception. Oh yeah, I'm healthy.
Yeah. And the sad fact about a lot of diseases is a lot of times the symptoms can mimic other things that aren't so dangerous. Sometimes the symptoms are so minor that you might not even take heed of them, pay attention to them. Sometimes they come and go, so you just figure whatever. And then by the time it gets too far, when you're having really bad symptoms, you're in the thick of it. And then it's a little harder to get out.
Yeah.
You can still, but it's a lot harder to get out.
Basically, you should listen to your body. And if anything is off at all, and that doesn't mean run to the doctor.
No.
But maybe think about, what could this be? Is there something I could be changing to be a little healthier, and
Yes.
maybe this will go away? Or
So,
because the body doesn't give you, especially with lifestyle diseases, it doesn't give you a full blown heart disease right away.
no,
It's going to
creep up.
come on gradually. There's
Something
going to be
here,
little
something there.
Yep. And it's kind of like your check engine light coming on in a car. Car's still running.
Yeah.
Car's fine. It's not making noise. It's not hesitating. It's not making.
But there's something wrong.
The longer you go without checking to see why the check engine light is on, the damage is going to continue and continue and
That's right.
continue until your car breaks down. You got to think of your body the same way. Any kind of uneasy feeling, any kind of symptom that's not right or whatever, no matter how minor, is your check engine light coming on.
Yeah. And that example is awesome because what usually happens when you ignore the check engine light is, say if it was your starter, just for an example, but you let it go, your electrical problem happens. Now you have 4 problems instead of the one starter problem.
Thank you.
So the same thing happens in your body. Maybe you're having a little trouble here and there, but then you went too far and now it's spreading. Or you added a new disease on top of it.
For example, the diabetes. You let it go and you could risk eyesight problems, kidney disease, and peripheral neuropathy.
There you go.
So instead of just the diabetes, because you didn't check that check engine light,
That's right.
now you've got all these other
Right.
problems.
And we are made to, we have all the systems in our body that we need to pay attention to that can alert us to a potential problem.
And one thing that you definitely should never do is chalk it up to being old.
No, that's a horrible
That is,
excuse.
It is not, your
on
body doesn't
problems.
have a timer or a calendar in it, and it says, okay, 50th birthday, now I'm going to start, doing this, that, and the other thing
Start
just because
shutting
I'm
down
50.
this, start shutting down that.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, if you're 80 and you have some symptoms, it could be just old age, but you still should, look at it and make sure, rule it out.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the things you can look for in your body for your health so that you can say, well, I don't feel terrible, but I don't feel great. But these are some things that will give you an indication of your overall health. So some of the first, you need to just ask the general question, do you feel good? Like, you have to be honest with yourself too. right where you are right now, you say, do I feel good? If your answer is no, if you're like, this hurts, I can't move this.
I don't
this is
sleep.
then
I'm unhappy.
right. That's a great first question. Do you feel good? If the answer is no, then you have to start looking a little deeper. But a lot of times you do feel good, or you think you do, but you still have to look deeper. So some of the physical signs that you can check yourself are your eyes. Are they discolored? They're supposed to be white-ish. Are they really yellow, red? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What about your nails?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of signs with the nails, with the ridges.
If they're rigid, if they're really thick.
The color and shape of the half moons or lack thereof. If
it
they're
could be brittle. You can
your
check.
Skin. Do you have
Big
rashes
time
or irritations? Do you have athlete's foot or
that's
something like that?
That's one of the first indicators of those kind of things, like things that your body's not accustomed to, doesn't know what to do with. You'll develop a rash or some kind of skin ailment.
Like in the case of, say, athlete's foot or jock itch or something like that, people don't realize that that could be a sign of high blood sugar, of pre-diabetes or diabetes, because you have too much sugar and too much yeast. Sugar feeds yeast. So if you have too much yeast going on in your body, you probably have too much sugar in your body, and that's how it comes out. So getting rid of Candida and balancing your blood sugar is the key to getting rid of that problem.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things that we're talking about that, you look at and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to, get some athlete's foot spray and put that on there. I can tell you 99% of anything that erupts on the outside of your body has an internal
cause. From the inside, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because there are things like, say, you touched poison ivy. That's an outside problem.
That's outside, yeah.
No, but you're right. It is that high that things that go wrong in your body will come out in your skin.
Yeah.
Definitely. So here's another one. Are you gassy? People think...
Or any kind of gut issues.
Yes. Getting rid of the gas within you is a normal process of the body, but you're not supposed to have gas daily.
And it shouldn't be uncomfortable or really, really smelly.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be full of gas constantly every day. Bloated. And you think that's the way the human body works. Yeah. That's not how the way it works.
The same thing with like indigestion, heartburn. Heartburn is not normal.
No.
All of these commercials on TV that advertise antacids. There's one, I think, where like a hot dog's beating the hell out of... a guy, but then he takes his antacids and he's okay.
Cool with it.
Well, first of all, I'm like, if a food causes you to have problems, why are you just taking a pill and you're not addressing your diet? But my point is, that's not normal to have something that happens to you all the time like that, to where you have to take an antacid. So you need to find out, is this a food I maybe need to cut out? Because taking antacids chronically is going to cause other problems. Or maybe you don't have to cut out that food. Maybe you have something going on gastrointestinal-wise that you need to address.
And it's just reacting with whatever you're eating.
Yeah. So at what point is enough where you're like, almost everything I eat causes me problems. Do you just keep eating them and popping the antacids, or do you address the situation so that you don't wind up with ulcers or stomach cancer or something, having to get part of your intestine removed?
I'm going to pick on, guys, because, guys just let the gas fly for some reason, no matter where they are.
They also let medical issues
Do you want to get kicked out of the bedroom or out of your house because your wife can't take, the smell anymore? No.
And speaking of getting kicked out of the bedroom, snoring's another one.
Yes,
it is. A little bit of mild snoring is probably normal. But if you're snoring so loud that your wife's in the other bedroom, or your husband, you're waking up people in the next house.
Yeah.
You might want to say, okay, there could be something going on here.
Yeah. I can give you
instead of just dealing with it.
I can give you a prime example. My dad, ever since I was born, that I can remember, snored extremely loud.
I think you said it was like a freight train going through your house.
The cats would get scared and jump in the air every time he snored. It was this loud. Fast forward 30 years later, he had a heart attack. Yes, I know what you're saying. 30 years. I could have fun in those years. Big deal. But his health degraded over those years. It wasn't like he was fine and he had a heart attack. Now he's...
And it was only in his 60s.
Yes,
correct?
he was young.
When he had the heart attack,
Yeah.
which to me is young.
Yeah.
It's too young
He's doing much
to
better
have a
now.
heart attack. And
He, takes care of himself, takes care of his, diet, so everything's fine now. But that was his tipping point. See what I'm saying?
was the heart attack.
Was the heart attack.
Not the
Oh my
snoring.
God, now, things seem real. Things are getting real.
And he may have had high blood pressure on the way to that heart
Yeah.
attack and didn't.
You see that light up in the sky. You see angels. And oh my God. Yeah.
I even had a guy joke with me the other day because he's been toying with, coming in to see us. And he said, you know what? After I have my first stroke, I'll be in your office. I'm like, that's not funny.
What-
This guy's got kids.
what
What
a
if you
joke.
don't survive the stroke? What if you become paralyzed from the stroke? Then how much can you really do?
That is a horrible response.
I know.
That is just terrible.
I'm sure he was joking, but there's
hey,
a
man,
lot
when
of
I
people.
lose a foot, I'll be back.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you then.
Well, and I
Hop along.
have another client who, so she didn't wait until she had the big event. She got diagnosed with diabetes. She got
Yeah.
put on medication. She's got the external symptoms. She's in our office.
Yep.
She's making changes. And she said one thing that motivates her is she watched a documentary on diabetes and saw people with the gangrenous toes and,
Yeah.
and the kidney problems and stuff. And she says, that's my motivation because I'm not getting there.
That's great.
She said, I found out I have diabetes.
Yeah.
Now, it would have been great if she'd have come in sooner when she was on her way
Right.
to
But
diabetes.
still, now
but
she's
got
her.
diabetes, and her intention is, yes, she's using medication as a tool.
Right.
She's making some changes. She
Yeah.
wants to get off the medication, and she wants to be free of her type 2 diabetes and not get to the point where she loses a foot.
Yeah. That was her. Enough is
And
enough.
that is her enough is enough. Unfortunately, some people wait until they have the stroke or lose the foot.
I
or-
recommend to everybody go watch a few documentaries on people with diabetes, with heart conditions, stuff like that, and see how painful, see all the crap they have to go through just to get back to being quote unquote normal so they can try to re-begin their life. Check that out and see how horrible that is.
Well, and I used to work in long-term care for many, many years, also known as nursing homes. And I can tell you, we're in our 50s. There were people in their 50s
Yeah.
living in these long-term care facilities with these
Yeah.
major problems.
Strokes
And
and-
that's why I'm like more afraid of living sick than I am afraid of dying, because
exactly.
you're
But then
only
what's-
in your
what's your
50s.
quality of
If
life
you're going to
then?
live to be at least 80, but you're in a nursing home
Yeah. What's your
and
quality
you're
of life?
sick. Yeah,
You're
you
not
don't
traveling.
you don't have much
You're
of
not
yeah.
doing stuff. You're not going out having fun.
Yeah, if you need
You're
any
trying to live.
motivation, it's hard to put down the junk or to get up. If you're not used to it. But if you try to motivate yourself with, not only do I not want to get to that point, but don't you have things you want to do in life? Like,
Yeah.
do you want to travel? Do you want to learn how to dance? Do you have grandchildren you want to be around for? What is your motivation in life that you want to live well? Let that be
Yes.
what says, okay, enough is enough. I got this, tingling in my arm. I'm going to go check out before it turns into something really bad.
Yep. So the last two indicators I would like to talk about is your tongue. Take a look at it when
Yeah.
you're brushing your teeth. It's just every day when you brush your teeth. It's so easy and simple. Stick it out, look at it. If it's white, pasty, got cracks in it, it's not supposed to look like that. Then something's wrong. The next one, people are going to feel really funny about this, but don't. You have to check your poo.
Yeah.
You have to.
I know he
And
loves
I'm not
pushing that
trying to
button,
be
but he's
cruel.
right.
I'm not trying to be grotesque or trying to offend anybody, but it takes 2 seconds. Give a glance at your deposit and see what it looks like.
And you can go online and look up something called the Bristol
Yes.
stool chart. That's BRISTOL. And basically, it's drawings. It's not actual photographs.
yeah.
Don't worry.
Hmm.
But it has different consistencies or shapes, and and if yours matches one of them, it will tell you, yes, this is
What
normal,
could
or
be the
you might
possible
want to look at this, you
causes.
might want to look at that. The gut is like the boss of the body.
Yeah. The second brain.
Every single thing that goes on in your body, the gut is involved some kind of way. There's a gut-brain connection. The gut is part of the immune system.
Yes.
If you have any kind of disruption in your gut, it's going to come out somewhere else. Or if you have any kind of disruption somewhere else, it's going to reflect in your gut. Lots of times when your stool is off and not right, or even your urine, there's something going on somewhere that might not even be your digestive system.
Yep.
So making sure that that part of you is healthy. And then when it isn't, checking and seeing, okay, what could this mean? And addressing it. You know, there's
Yes.
people that never look. It should not.
This is
It should
gross.
not smell as bad
No.
as sometimes it does.
If it smells really bad, you need to go to the doctor.
Yeah. If you don't go for a week, that's a problem. If
Mhm.
you know, so that is really what I would say is the first step in assessing your overall health is looking at your digestive health.
Yes, big time. So, here's a few other questions you can ask yourself to see if you are in good health and you're progressing to be a positive, productive human being in this world. You can ask yourself, am I accomplishing my goals and my dreams, or are you just going through the motions every day?
Yeah, that's not what life's about.
No, but a lot of times when you don't feel well, you can't find the motivation. You can't find your desires anymore because you're so bogged down with how you feel. Terrible. I feel so terrible. I'm so tired. So
Yeah. So if you're just going through the motions, you're not thinking about goals, you're not enjoying your life, there's probably
Right.
something wrong. It could be mental, it could be physical, it could
Right.
be physical causing mental, mental causing physical.
because it's all connected.
Mhm.
So do you look forward to the day? Is it tough to get through the day? Like at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, are you looking for some kind of comfort, be it, the sugar rush or,
Caffeine.
some people drink on their lunch breaks. That's not a big secret out here in the world. If you're doing any of that kind of stuff, you need to sit down and, reevaluate what's going on in your life.
So let's talk about alcohol for a second.
Yeah.
So that's another thing where you need to, what is your enough is enough?
Oh, yeah.
You might have used to drink, 1 or 2 glasses of wine with dinner on a weekend or whatever. Now you're having 2 or 3 every day after
Every
work.
day. Yeah. Evaluate yourself.
That's
Be
not
honest.
alcohol is a poison, and
Yeah.
it's going to cause all kinds of health problems. It's very addictive. You're going to wind up drinking more and more and more. You have to come to a point where you're like, this is too much. I'm going to cut back.
Yeah.
Or I'm starting to get, the red nose, or I'm starting to get,
The club kind of fingernails.
club fingers, or I
Swollen
acted like
belly.
an idiot at the office yesterday.
How about
Swollen belly. Yeah,
how about getting arrested?
yeah.
Yeah. For DUI or something like that.
Yeah, there's some people that have been arrested for a DUI 3 and 4 times, and that wasn't there enough
What is there enough?
because you've been there. You
I've
know
been
about that.
Yeah, I've been there. And once was enough for me. That was my enough. But I was in classes with people who have been there 4 times and were facing prison time now. Is that there enough? Or when they get out of prison, are they going to go have a drink again? That's the dilemma.
Yeah, and it might be harder to get to your enough is enough when it's something that's addictive, like alcohol, and but that's when you need to ask for help.
Oh,
Same thing with
definitely.
sugar. Sugar is a drug. I have a friend who she's trying to get healthy, but at the very mention of her having to cut out any sugar at all,
Right.
even reducing it, she freaks out and panics as if you were trying to take a crack away from someone. And sugar's not that much different.
Yeah.
When she has health problems, is that going to be enough for her to say, okay, I need help
Yeah.
with my sugar addiction?
Yes.
Addiction's very powerful, but ask for help. I especially want to say this to you guys out there. Guys do not ask for help. Guys do not look at symptoms in their body. Women do it more so. But ladies, this is a very powerful message for you too. Guys will have a symptom and they will let it go.
Yep.
And I think that's why women live longer than men,
That is one
because
reason.
they will address things sooner
Yep.
before they blow out of proportion.
They ask
So,
for help
yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
Men don't ask for help.
Their enough is enough threshold is a little,
Yeah.
closer to what it should be than guys.
Exactly. And just trying to replace, your unhappy life, your worries, your stress with alcohol or bad foods, extra sugars, cakes and cookies, whatever.
You're just masking symptoms.
And it's just going to progress into things that are worse.
so now you don't like your life and you're depressed and you have health problems
It never goes
or
well.
legal problems.
It's not a linear tract. it's going to come up, but then it's going to dip like a son of a bitch.
And go off on the side.
Then it's going to go off on the side, and it's going to splinter off into 20 things, and then you're in a ton of crap. And we don't want you to be there.
Yeah. So instead of masking symptoms with alcohol or sugar or just ignoring a problem, you got to find out the cause.
You
know,
do.
why do I have this skin rash? Why am I drinking so much?
Why do I feel like crap?
Why am I depressed?
Yeah. Why am I tired all the time?
Yeah.
But
why does my knee hurt?
Yeah.
Find out these things and address the cause instead of continuing to mask the symptoms. Because now you don't have to mask symptoms because you don't have any because you fixed the problem.
Right. And the biggest thing, it's there's people who are honest. I mean, like honest to a fault. They don't like to tell lies, everything like that. But it's so easy to lie to ourselves. Why is that? When it's you and you. You look in the mirror, it's you and you. Nobody's there. But it's so easy to lie to yourself. I'm not an addict. I could eat that. It's okay for me. I don't have to worry about that. It's so easy to lie to ourselves. And I don't see how.
3 generations back in my life had diabetes, but I can eat this cake.
I can eat this cake. That's good.
Oh, and that's another thing. When you have a full-blown illness like heart disease or diabetes or something like that, you have to be way more strict with your eating and your lifestyle and your fitness. Why not make healthy changes before you get to that point so that you can have sweets every now and then?
You can still enjoy that stuff for the rest of your life.
Something that maybe isn't perfect for a heart disease diet.
That's a great point.
You can eat it every now and then, and you won't be doing damage, as opposed to getting to the point where 2 bites of sugar could put you in the hospital.
Eat it again.
Yeah.
As opposed to you get to look forward to that little treat that you're going to have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Because I firmly believe in moderation, 80-20, 80% of the time do really well.
Definitely.
20% of the time, don't worry about it. 99% of the time, make sure it's real food. But if you have a serious illness, that 20% gets a lot smaller.
Oh, yeah, big time. So let's just say you're listening to us and you're confused and you're like, well, I asked myself these questions. I really don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I do feel like I need some change. I need to do better. That's the time to ask someone for help, because maybe you can't really see what's going on because it's you, and maybe you're too involved in your life or your job, whatever it is. Get an outside perspective. Be open. Don't get offended. Be open. Ask for help. Say, what do you think would help me improve my life right now? But go to a person that you know is trustworthy and who has a good life. Don't go to some crackhead on the corner because you're going to get a crap answer. So
and certainly don't get your health advice from Facebook, please.
Oh, no.
But and there's another thing. A lot of people think they eat healthy, and maybe they don't realize, I hardly eat any sugar. Maybe you're eating more than you think. Or maybe you're smoking more than you think, and you don't understand why it's so hard to quit. Keep a food diary or keep a lifestyle diary.
That's a good idea.
If you're like, well, I think I'm pretty good, but let me see. Write down everything you eat and drink, or every time you smoke, or every time you have an alcoholic beverage, or all the sugar consumption. Just something. Pick a marker that you want to track for a few days or a week. And be honest. It's not a test that you're going to pass or fail. Nobody's going to look at it but you.
Got to be honest with yourself.
And then look at it and say, oh, wow, I eat more sugar than I thought. Or I don't eat as many vegetables as I thought I did.
Exactly.
And then there you can go from there. So you're kind of, you don't have to run out and go see a doctor or anything just to do something like that. And you can kind of self-police yourself and say, I think I need, to eat more fruit or something. Or I don't drink enough water. I thought I did. I tracked my water. It's not enough.
Exactly.
And so, okay, guys, I get what you're saying. I shouldn't wait until I have a disease or whatever, but it's so hard.
Yes.
I think one reason why people's threshold for what is enough is too far gone is because they think they have to do everything at one time. Yeah. And it's this big daunting project. I got to throw away everything in my kitchen. I got to start going to the gym for 3 hours a day.
Right.
No.
No.
Start
baby
with
steps.
one thing. One thing. you know what? I'm going to go walk 3 times a week for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to have 1 less soda a day.
Yeah.
A month later, when you're having 1 less soda a day and it's habit and you don't have a problem with it and it's part of your life now, go down by another soda a day.
Yes.
It's never too late to make changes too. So don't be like, I'm 65, been this way all my life.
Yeah.
I'm just going to accept that I'm going to die in
No.
5 years.
That's a
or I'm
bullshit
going to
excuse.
live sick.
Yeah.
It's never too late to make changes.
Yeah.
So bottom line is, it doesn't matter when you start. Even if you've already got the illness or you're already at a point that you probably could have taken care of sooner, it doesn't matter. Do it now.
It'll be harder for you if you're in that position
Yeah.
to come back, but you can still
You can
do it.
still do it. And take it slow if you're not ready.
Yes, definitely.
And then the other thing I want to say is, especially in the case of smoking or something like that, some kind of bad habit, maybe even just sugar, focus on adding good habits. Okay, yeah, I eat too much sugar, but I don't drink enough water and I don't eat enough vegetables. Focus on adding the good stuff first. So I'm going to increase my water intake and I'm going to eat more vegetables.
Yeah.
Don't even address the sugar yet.
Yep.
When you're adding good things to your body, not only can it help negate the damage you're doing with the bad habit, but eventually you're going to have all these good habits and you're going to be feeling good. You're going to be like, why am I still smoking?
Yeah.
You'll be ready to quit then because, you're like, I work out every day and I've changed my diet and I'm sleeping okay, much better than I was, and I'm still smoking a cigarette
Yeah.
or I'm still eating all this sugar or I'm still drinking 3-4 drinks a night. You won't want to it'll be a lot easier for you to stop a bad habit after you've already made some good habits.
Yes, because
So focus on adding the good.
Yeah, don't forget your brain, for the lack of a better term, is plastic. And what I mean by that is it can change. So when you start to think differently, like, I want to be healthy, I'm going to make these 2 steps to be healthy, drink more water, eat more vegetables, your brain's going to actually physically change, which will help you quit the smoking and quit everything else.
Yeah, the smoking,
bad for you.
the alcohol, the sugar, the being sedentary and not moving,
Yeah.
any of that is not going to be as appealing to you anymore.
Exactly. Very good. So, bottom line, be honest with yourself and try to make changes before it's too late, before you're in a hole and you have to make big changes, which is harder to come back from. Yes, changing your diet, exercising is difficult to begin when you haven't been doing it. But just like Stevie said, start small and you will get there. If you wait till you have a heart attack or you get diagnosed with a horrible disease, it's going to be harder for you to get back to get into eating right and to exercising. So the earlier, the
That's
better.
if you survive the event.
So the earlier, the better, like now, today.
Yeah. What is your threshold? Where is your enough is enough? And should you change it?
Yes.
Are you somebody who's like, yeah, well, when I have a heart attack, then I'll worry about it. Do you really want to have a heart attack? I mean, come on. And if you don't take care of yourself, yes, genes have a lot to do with it,
Yeah.
but not as much as you would think. Let me rephrase that. Genes don't have a lot to do with it. They have some place,
Mm-hmm.
but your lifestyle, your diet, your physical activity, your environment, your mental state all trumps the genes. Just because 3 people in your immediate family all had heart attacks does not mean you're definitely going
No.
to have one.
Nope. Does not mean that
Your
at all.
father had one. You probably never will.
You need to look at, their lifestyle at the time.
Yeah.
I bet you could pinpoint and say, I see why they
Yeah.
had this or had that. You can. My mom died of cancer. She smoked probably 2 packs a day of menthol cigarettes since she was like 12. So it was no big mystery.
And
why
you
she had
currently do
lung
not
cancer.
smoke.
No.
And you've outlived her
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just
or outlived the age
your
she was.
lifestyle has a tremendous impact
Yeah. If you have a
on
genetic,
your life and your lifespan.
yeah, if you have a genetic history of something, you might need to be a little more diligent with your health than
Mhm.
somebody who doesn't.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's inevitable that you're going to get it.
Right.
I've heard that so many times from someone in my family. Well, not by blood, by marriage. So we don't have the same genes. Well, everybody else in my family got this. I'm going to also. So what the hell?
Yeah.
Why should I restrict myself? Why not just enjoy the life that I have?
That's you planning on it, though. You're planning on having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't plan on
And
getting sick.
you know what? You can still enjoy life and be healthy. Like I mentioned earlier, you can still have the treats occasionally if you're not already on a deathbed,
Well, yeah.
you know, or already diagnosed where one bite could, you know,
Yeah.
hurt you.
And for my older fans out there, you can't count like, Keith Richards and like that. He's from another planet. So don't say, well, how about Keith Richards? He's been unhealthy since forever and he's like 100. He's not from here. So
Yeah, there is the rare anomaly, but yeah. I tell you what, though, if he was healthy, he'd probably look a lot better. No offense. Plus, we don't know just because he's alive and performing, we don't know what he feels like when he gets up in the morning.
yep.
You know,
But he gets a pass, though.
yeah,
So
yeah. You can't
don't.
go by
you don't get
famous
a pass.
people who also probably have money for, all kinds of tricks and hacks and
Fixtures
people
that a
to
word?
do things. Yeah.
term. All right.
So yeah, just
I enjoyed talking to you guys about this. Please take heed on this topic. This is one of the biggest things that you can do for your life is just making the decision to change to get healthier.
another excuse that I hear a lot is, well, I'm so busy.
We're all
I got to take care of kids. I got to go to work. I got to do this for my husband.
We're all busy.
If you don't take care of you, who's going to do all that stuff when you can't?
Yep.
When you get on a plane and they're going over the safety stuff and they tell you, the oxygen mask, they're like, if you have a child
mask
with
on
you, you need to
first.
put yours on first
Yep.
because if you go unconscious, you can't help your child.
Yeah.
You got to do that with life. You got to put your mask on first.
Yep.
You are more important than your job or your boss. You are just as important as your family.
Yeah.
And if you don't take care of you, you cannot take care of your family or your home or your job. Eventually, who's going to do it?
Exactly.
Who is going to do it? So what is your enough is enough threshold? Think about that. Make small changes.
Yep.
Don't wait. And, if you need some advice or you have questions, find us on social media, go to
Yes,
our website,
please.
send us questions. So that's,
We will be happy to talk with anyone about their life, what they want to do, maybe make some changes, whatever.
yeah, you got some symptoms you're concerned about, but
Yep.
you just want to, So that's it. Like I said, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our website, send us questions, topics you want to learn about.
please.
If you are local in Colorado Springs and want us to help you in person, shoot us an email and contact us at chronologyfit.com or message us on Facebook. We can do virtual as well if you're not in the Colorado Springs area. You can check out other great podcasts by visiting studio809radio.com. We hope you have a healthy week and tune in next time to the Functional Fitness and Nutrition Podcast with Chronology.
See ya.